You know, I left home at 17, 18, left all my family, my mum and dad, my brothers, sisters. But Liverpool Football Club became my family. The players I played with, the staff, the fans, they became my family for the next 15 years, and a great, great 15 years it was. Like most kids in Dublin in the 60s, because George Best was the man, he was Irish and everybody wanted to emulate George Best play for Manchester United, basically, all the kids in Dublin did. So I was no different than them, and I was always destined for Manchester United as a kid. I was training there from when I was 14 years of age. It looked like I would sign for Manchester United. That didn't happen, and I went to Celtic. I had a trial at Celtic, played a reserve team game, did okay, and I was about to sign professional forms with Celtic. Then Liverpool invited me over for a 2-week trial. I was unsure whether to sign at that time or not, because 17 years of age, leaving home in Dublin, was going to be difficult. But my dad said to me, you may as well start at the top. Liverpool were the best in Europe at the time. So he said, start at the top. If it doesn't work out, you can always work your way back in somewhere else. So I decided to sign for Liverpool then. It was a Friday night game because the Grand National was on the Saturday, and I didn't think I was going to be involved. So I went to Aintree on the Thursday, and when I come back to my digs after the races, the landlady said that I was to report for training the next morning. I didn't think I was going to play because Ray Kennedy was the natural left-sided midfield, but Ray failed the fitness test. And Bob handed me the number 5 jersey of Ray Kennedy and said, you're playing left-side midfield, and good luck. When you're 19 years of age and you look around the dressing room and you've got Ray Clemens, Phil Neal, Doug Leash, and these sort of people in the dressing room, you do get a little scared. And I was very, very scared before that game. But once you get on the pitch and you know you get into the game, you do forget about it. Fortunately, after 20 minutes, I threw a ball from Sammy Lee, I run on and touched it under the goalkeeper to score on my debut, so I couldn't have asked for any more. Playing at Wembley, first time at Wembley. Me and Rushy, first time at Wembley. We'd only come into the team probably 7 or 8 months, me and Rushy. The whole night before the game, we didn't sleep. This was our big chance, 100,000 people again at Wembley. How will the game go? Are we going to let people down? What will we do? And I scored 2 and Rushy scored the other one. So it was the era of me and Rushy coming through then, and Craig and Sammy were all coming through. But to score 2 on your Wembley debut, and you know, as a kid you grow up, as I said, in Ireland, looking at it on television all the time and hoping that one day you'd play there. And I did play there and I scored 2 on my debut, so it was an exciting time for me.
There must have been a time when you thought you weren't going to get anything from this cup final.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to turn sour on the Milk Cup. But anyway, all's well that ends well.
His influence on me was amazing. He looked after me, he was like a father figure after I'd moved from home. He had me in his office a lot of the times, chatting with me how I was doing, how I was finding it in the team. A great manager, he could see things so clearly, just bring players in. I came as a centre forward, number 10. Bob Paisley put me on the left side of midfield after Ray Kennedy. But his influence on my career was immense, and I owe Bob so much for what he did for me at Liverpool Football Club. Bob, I don't think, could have been that successful without Ronnie and Joe. They were the ones who took the training day in, day out. They were the ones who kept the lads on their toes. We could win 5-0 at home some Saturday and they would slaughter us after the game. And we could go away and lose somewhere like Coventry 4-0, which happened once. And they said it was unlucky, he didn't deserve to lose 4-0. So it was a little bit psychological with them. They could change things around very quickly. People outside football won't really know how much there was to do with them too, why Liverpool were so successful in the 70s and the 80s. The best centre forward that's ever been. It wasn't just that he scored 25, 30 goals a season. He was our first line of defence. He did all his work, putting defenders under pressure, which made it easier for us in midfield to defend against, and then made it easier again for the defenders behind the midfielders. Rushy was a phenomenal player. Rushy could have played anywhere. He could have played right back, left back. In training, he would go and stand centre midfield and pass the ball about as if he was a natural central midfielder. He could have played anywhere, Rushy, but up front, scoring goals, defending, doing everything. One of the best, probably the best centre forward ever was. Bob Paisley said this was probably one of his best achievements, was winning the league with this group of players, because he just dismantled the team who won the European Cup in 81. So he was bringing in a lot of youngsters into a team that were 12th in the league and really, really struggling. But we kicked on from Christmas and had some great results to eventually go on and win the title that year. We felt we could go anywhere and beat anybody. It wasn't a shock to the players that we won the championship or won the League Cup. When you got Loro, Mark Lawrence and Dalglish, all these great players in the team, we didn't fear anybody, and that just capped off a great season for me. Suey had been presented with the trophy, and for some reason he turned around and threw the trophy in the air. I was the first one to react because I wanted to get my hands on that, my first one. To win that game and win your first league title was absolutely brilliant. After the game, it was very, very funny when you went into the dressing room after the game. My first experience of it, but there was a box of medals on the table put out by Ronnie or Joe or Bob Paisley. And Ronnie Moran said, if you think you deserve one, pick one up. I'd played nearly every game since December. So I run over quickly, picked my medal up, put it in my suit pocket and got out of there as quickly as possible. Manchester United in a cup final. People don't take the League Cup final very, very serious nowadays, but we took it very serious because it got us into Europe in February or March or whatever it was. But to play against Man United and score the winner at Wembley was a huge day for me. People still say I meant to cross it to Rushy, but I definitely meant it for a goal, that's for sure.
Ronnie Whelan, who got two last year against Spurs, has scored the second for Liverpool today.
It was great because I was a Man United kid, and it was mainly to show as well that I didn't have any feelings for Manchester United whatsoever. I was Liverpool and I wanted to do everything for Liverpool to win. Such a daunting place to go. It was funny because it was not like the rest of the pitches in the league. This pitch just drained your energy. There was always people in this game. There was lots of Man United players going down with cramp, but just to play there, it was all I wanted to do as a kid. Where England won the World Cup in '66, that's where I want to be. I want to be on this stage. And to score 3 goals at Wembley was just amazing for my football career. With the Liverpool fans, it wasn't always great with me. My second season, I got slaughtered most games. I wasn't playing exactly great, but I was getting kept in the team by Bob, so I must have been doing something wrong. The Camlin Road used to slaughter me every game, but you have to come through it. I wasn't a Scouser, I was a lad that come from Dublin, so I'm sure they were probably wanting some Scousers in there who are probably as good, if not better than me. But the managers decided to pick me. After the second season, my friendship with the fans was absolutely unbelievable up till the time I left the football club. I have an awful lot to thank the Liverpool fans for, because they did get behind the team and they got behind me. It's tinged with sorrow, isn't it? Because there were so many people who should have been there who weren't. Sad moment as well as a great moment for me. A kid from Ireland was never going to make it as a professional footballer, and there he is, lifting the FA Cup for Liverpool. It was difficult times. We knew we had to win that game for what had gone on at Hillsborough. We knew there was so much on our shoulders. It was so difficult. Everton were not going to make it easy for us. Stuart McCall come on and scored a couple of goals, kept taking it further and further, but Rushy done his job again against Everton.
Rush! 3-2 Liverpool. Ian Rush gets his second. And Liverpool have won the FA Cup, the first leg of the double, and perhaps softened the pain that so many of their supporters have been through recently.
A huge moment for me, as I say, as a kid that'd come over from Ireland, 17, 18 years of age, wanting to make your way in football. As a kid in Dublin, I'd watched FA Cups every year. But to lead a team of the calibre of players that were behind me walking up those steps was probably the greatest achievement of my football career, was lifting that FA Cup. This is where it all began for me. The gates, you'll never walk alone. This was to be my home from when I came over at 18 till I left at 33 years of age. For me, a magnificent time. Loved every minute of it. Would like to go through it all again just to see what it felt like. Brilliant times at Liverpool.